Since the sword is principally a cutting weapon, one of the best, let's take a look at the application after a successful parry. Thank you, Payson. We're going to start with Payson's going to cut my head. Again, remember, we're doing this in a controlled situation. Do not practice without the proper safety equipment. So Payson is going to cut my head here. We're going to work from this range, my medium range, so I'm within cutting range. I can reach him by simply extending my hand. Again, to cut my head. On the inside line, I have vertical, diagonal, horizontal to the face, diagonal, horizontal, upward to the body, and down to the leg. Let's take a look at that. So head, head, head diagonal, head horizontal, head diagonal to the body, head horizontal to the body, head down to the leg. From here to the outside line, he's not giving me much, but the nice thing about this guard is if he comes here and I press, I'm going to push him out of the way. I've trapped his blade in my guard. Another one of the reasons why you want to stay in center line, because you're going to travel straight down that line to his head, to the diagonal. Okay, I've got caught in his guard. But I'm still in center line, so if he'd come back to me, I'd still be there, and I could try somewhere else. Head to the arm, head horizontal to the body, head down to the leg. All right, let's take a look at our fore parry. Inside line here. My direct riposte straight to the head, diagonal, horizontal here. Same thing on the outside. Let's just look at a couple. Straight vertical. There's my nice snap to there, to there. To here, I could cut down through and use that more powerful cut. Okay? I can also cut below the blade. So you'll notice the first grouping we're all above the blade because I'm inside him. If I find that he's very quick and is starting to move, I'll go underneath. Okay? So this can go under the arm. This can be an upward here like so. This can also be down to the leg, a good target. All right? And I can go to the inside line here. This would be more of a snap cut. This would be a drawing cut. And again, down to the leg. Let's look at the outside line. From a 3, straight to the head. My diagonal on the inside, my horizontal, my here right across the throat, to the outside here, here, here. Nicely I can take the line, it's right there in center line. Okay, I can go to the outside down here like so to the leg. I can also go under the blade. Again, from here, under the blade, and come back to center because I want you to come back to my head after I cut. Here, he's going to come to my head, I'm there already, and I'm going to do it again. You're going to own center line. Very, very important, okay? Let's look at our 2 low parries. Go down to a 2. From a 2, we haven't talked about the thrust yet. We're going to cover this in a minute, but that's right there. It's one of my favorite things about 2. But from here, I can come inside. I can come down to the leg. I can come over here to the leg on the outside. I can come here over here like this. I can also come above the blade on the inside, or I can come above the blade on the outside. Let's look at our 1. One of my favorite parries and one of the most powerful returns. Okay? One of the reasons why occasionally you will not only parry in the low line in this 1 position, cut high, I'll also take this up here. Okay? It also sets up the opportunity to come in on angular footwork and take that blade and take control of it and use the checking hand. Lynn's going to cover a lot of that later on. But from here, vertical down, diagonal, horizontal. I'm not hitting very hard because you are very powerfully loaded up in this position. Okay, I can also come here and chop, come here and take the arm, come here and drop under the blade. All of those are possible. Last parry, the 6. He's going to come to my head. Remember I mentioned that we have a very fast riposte here. We have a very powerful riposte here. So just like in the 5 vertical, the same thing is with the 6 to my vertical, the 5 diagonal, the 6 diagonal on the outside, the 5 horizontal, the 6 horizontal here. Okay? Some of the applications in a direct riposte. You parry and immediately go to the target of opportunity. Go back to your pel, do some work. when you train with your partner, wear the proper safety equipment and take it easy. You're interested in control, you're interested in small movements. You start wailing away, somebody's going to get hurt, and you're really not training yourself good technique. Okay, now you've got the idea of the direct riposte. Let's put it out to a slightly more appropriate distance. That was an extension range. You're going to find yourself in that range, but it's very dangerous because you are equally at risk. So we're going to stretch this out a little bit. Distance equals time. Distance affords you the opportunity to see what's coming, to mount a successful defense, to avoid it. It gives you more options. Also, it makes my opponent come to me. He has to enter in order to be able to strike. So let's extend our distance a little bit to our long range. He's going to have to come to me in order to be able to try and hit me. Again, I'm not going to be wearing a protective mask. Do not practice this way. Wear the right equipment. Great. So here we are in extension range. I can't reach him. He can't reach me without closing distance. He's going to lunge to my head, okay? From here, if he stays there, I'm going to hit him straight on the head. Again, in this variation of vertical, diagonal, horizontal. Or I could, do it again, Payson. I could go here and come straight down there, where I'm closing center line and pushing him out of the way. If he retreats, if he lunges and tries to get back, I'm going to follow him, okay? Again. So here, I'm going to follow him. Like that. So as he's going back, I'm going to cling to him distance-wise and then get back out again. All right? Let's take a look at that same thing. And again, head here. And I'm going to go to the body now. Okay? Very nice. Do it again. And this time I'm going to pursue him and then get out. All right? And I'm going to go to the outside. If you stay, I can just reach. But if you don't, I'm going to have to follow and then get back out again. And make sure this sword stays on center line. Okay? Okay, now, let's look at just a couple of the other angles here. Now, being here, this is great. I just love to come straight up into here. You don't need to do a lot. Because I am above his blade, I'm already inside him, I want to ride him. And his natural inclination is going to be to try and parry that. Most likely, do it again, most likely he's going to parry it into himself. Okay? I can also go to the outside. If he's here with me, all I need to do is extend. If he starts to recover back in a hurry, I'm going to follow him. Okay? This is a slightly more appropriate distance. Again, take care of your partner. Be careful with this. This works for all of the lines. Okay, let's go down to the low line. 2. From here, I'm going to come straight back to center. I didn't really need to move because he didn't. But right this time, if he moves, here, see, I can go down. I can take that leg because he was starting to cover himself and then get back to center again. This stays and owns center line to the 1. If he stays, I'm going to be right there. If he moves, I'm going to go with him. Okay? Once again, move. Great. And I'm just going to be right there on top of him. All right? So move out to a slightly more realistic range where your partner, who is acting the part of your opponent, has to come to you, has to penetrate your distance. Start reading the ability, maintain the distance to still be able to riposte to the most convenient target of opportunity, and if he tries to retreat, follow him. Make that adjustment of distance, that awareness of distance where the two of you are connected. Give that a try.